another brand new week and welcome to another brand new episode of our weekly devotion with yours truly. Well, you can see a swollen eye here and a swollen left cheek. That's because I fell on the bathtub. But the show must go on. You know what? Winter is almost here. In fact, in some places in the north of America, it's already here. Winter, as we all know, can be harsh, especially when it gets frigid, frosty, and downright freezing. I remember last year at this time of the year, I was up north in Ohio, and then I went through a snowstorm. Overnight, the snow just kept pouring in, and my car was covered at least about 8 inches of snow. And the very next morning, I got to get out to the airport to catch my flight. And I borrowed a shovel and I have to shovel the snow out of the driveway so I can get out. It took me almost an hour out in the freezing cold to get, in order to get my car out of the driveway so that I can drive to the airport. Well, metaphorically, winter seems to represent difficulties, hardships, and desperations. We all know that. Winter may arrive when you got laid off from your job, your marriage may be crumbling apart, or someone close to you had just passed on. You know what? Such situation will test the mental and spiritual resolve that require a lot out of you and out of me to pull through. So if you're going through this, today I want to encourage you. So instead of getting bitter as you go through this season of winter, let's get better. And I want to offer you 4 suggestions of how you can stay warm, W-A-R-M, during the wintry season of your life. W, number 1, walk through and not into. You walk through the season and not into the season. One of the worst things to happen in our lives is to let bad experience negate us permanently. King David of Israel wrote in his blog that he walked through the valley of shadow of death. Isn't that fantastic? He did not write, I walked into. It is important that we have to note that he did not walk into, and that we do not get ourselves fused with our problem. We don't walk into. Like any seasons, we go through the seasons. David, did not apply for PR or permanent residency in the valley, but he kept walking through it. And you know what? Seasons come and go. After winter, spring is always waiting around the corner. So keep moving and you will eventually meet it. So Winston Churchill once says, if you are going through hell, keep going, keep walking, don't stop. So the 4th suggestion, how to get through the wintry season of your life. Number 1, W, walk through this. You got to keep walking and don't stop. A is to acknowledge the situation, but leave the solution. Acknowledge the situation, but leave out the solution. Denial only serves to protract the season of our pain. What is ignored does not necessarily go away. On the other hand, accepting reality accepts you to cognitively and spiritually find ways to adapt and regain control. Healthy adaptation often involves changing your perception and finding solutions. Right, turn your focus on those solutions and live it. It is not the strongest of the most intelligent who will survive, but those who can best manage change. Say Leon Megginson. So W, you walk through. A is to acknowledge that you are walking through, and R is to reach out for support. Social isolation makes people cold. Little lovey. Emotional challenges can seem insurmountable when you are dealing with it alone. With a social support system in place, it does not only help you to cope better, it also emits the warmness of feelings when friends and family come to rally around you during the darkest or the coldest moments in your life. So don't be ashamed to reach out for help. We don't heal in isolation, but we heal in community. Say, as Kelly Harris. The 4 suggestions so far: W, you have to keep warm during this wintry season. W, walk through and not walk into. Remember, seasons come and go. You have walked through it. Spring is waiting for you. A is to acknowledge the problem, but also live the solution. Then R is to reach out. Don't try to internalize it and try to work it out on your own. Reach out for help. Don't be ashamed of asking for help. M is to master all you got. Don't give up the fight. Woo-hoo. using the fisherman analogy, Peter taught us to cast out all our anxieties. It means that mustering all our strength to throw out the worries, just as a fisherman would do in their nets. He says, cast all your cares upon him. Remember, Peter was a fisherman, and he used a fisherman analogy. Cast, throw it. Similarly, you know that holding on to your bitterness will not help your healing process, but it requires courage, strength, and belief to do so. So mastering is a form of exercise. It helps build physical, emotional, and spiritual muscles. By the way, exercising keep you warm too. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7 says, cast all your cares on him, for he cares for you. Well, winter may be here for some of us, but remember, it will soon pass. After winter, gorgeous spring will show up. I just love spring. Wait for spring to come. Garner all your strength and hang in there and stay warm. WARM. Walk through, acknowledge, believe the solution, reach out, and master all your strength. So as you go through this week, keep yourself warm.